Hey, welcome back. How you doing? Let's talk about learning English or like a second language in like general, right? I think in most places in the world, you will start learning a second language in a school. Um, do you do that in like America and like English speaking countries? Because I know in like most European countries that don't just speak English, like English will be the language you learn. Like for example, in Germany, English is mandatory, and then you can choose to have like a third language like Spanish or French. I choose IT, by the way. I choose IT, like computer science. Okay, so yeah, learning English was really, really weird because it has like multiple times where a teacher told me, forget everything you learned so far about English. And I'm like, what? 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 Okay, so the first time I had English lessons in school was like in fourth grade, right? And obviously in fourth grade, it was only like very easy things like counting to 10, like how some letters are pronounced or whatever, right? That happened. So that was in fourth and like fifth grade, I think, or maybe it was third and fourth grade. I'm not entirely sure because then in fifth grade, the teacher was like, everything you have learned about English so far, you can forget we're starting anew. And I was like, yeah, what? Why would you say that? I've learned a few things already. I'm a smarty putty patootie. But no. Okay, so then she had like some things that still stuck to my brain until this day. For example, I don't know if you had the song in school, but like the Que Sera song. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future is not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Da, 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 da. So for some reason we had that song and we sung it a lot. We even sang it in like canon and stuff like that. It was crazy. And then the other thing I distinctly remember from that class was like, you know how London is like pronounced London and not London in like English and like British English, and she would make us say a German sentence, which is basically we are London in London, which means with like the plane we like go to London, right? And that's like, yeah, it's London. It's London. It's London. Not London how it's written. It's London, right? So that's somehow still stuck in my brain. A similar thing that's stuck in my brain is from like seventh grade when my computer science teacher was like, RAM for the computer stands for random access memory. Your RAM, that's random access memory. It's random access. Somehow that's still freaking imprinted in my brain, right? So then that happened, and I had English with that teacher from like fifth and sixth grade, and then in like seventh grade, when like the real English started, right, where you would actually like converse with people in English. The teacher again was like, everything you learned about English so far, you can forget it, because we will start anew. The rage I felt, the rage I now feel like 16, 17, 18 years later still is crazy. Anyway, I did learn quite a lot of English from school. But like what really helped me personally learn English was media. For me, it was actually Naruto that started my English learning language, and let me explain. Like I was watching Naruto on TV, just the German episodes, right? And then at some point I realized that they didn't show any new episodes anymore. They would just have like repeat ones because I guess they weren't translated yet or they didn't have more licenses or whatever. So by the time I got a PC, I started using my Google Foo and Googled Naruto episodes. And I could only find, I mean, I wasn't that smart back then, right? I could only find English dubbed Naruto episodes with German subtitles. So that's what I watched for a while. And obviously, I heard a lot of English from that, right? Then at some point after that, I realized, okay, there are no more English dubbed Naruto episodes. Now I have to go to Japanese dubbed Naruto episodes. But like back then, the dubbing scene, for like the dubbing and subbing scene, obviously, was not as big for anime as it is nowadays. So there was no Naruto with German subtitles. No, no, no. So I had to go and watch Naruto in Japanese with English subtitles. And I would watch and understand like most of it, right? I would understand like most of it. And then like sometimes I would have to pause and look up a word. And that's kind of how I like really got confronted with like a lot of English to start to learn to read it and understand it, right? And then like obviously later in life, like a few years later, when I like got like big into MMOs and online games, by that point I already like changed my whole consumption of like media to English, right? I played all the games in English. I played on like English speaking servers. And then when I would speak with people, I would obviously type in English. And I also, when I would go into like, well, we didn't have Discords back then. When I would go into like Skypes and TeamSpeaks and whatever hell, we would speak English, right? And of course, that's how I started to get confronted with speaking English. Yeah. And then like much later, then I started to have like international friends where I would speak on Discord with them like in English, like almost daily, right? And then of course nowadays I do videos and I speak English here. And that was kind of like a weird way for me to learn English. But that's the thing, right? If you have like an additional interest, be it books, be it shows, be it like traveling to a country or whatever, right? That really helps you with learning a language. And for example, like there's like many YouTubers, like anime YouTubers, who end up like living in Japan. And sure, they try to learn like some Japanese before they go there, but like most of their learning happens actually while they are living there, because you're like confronted with that language every single day and you're kind of like forced to learn it. So you learn a language like way more when you put yourself in an environment where the language is spoken, right? So for example, if you would want to learn German, I don't know why, but like if you would want to learn German, you would probably start watching like German TV shows, try to read German books, listen to German music, right? And of course, like travel to Germany if that's an option for you. And I'm gonna be honest, I would love to speak more languages, but like currently that's not a priority for me. I would love to speak like Japanese, obviously, for obvious reasons. I love anime, and I would love to like play Japanese games that never get translated and watch anime without having to read and stuff like that. And of course, I would love to speak Chinese, just because like so much of the population speaks Chinese, of the Earth's population, right? They are like 1.7 billion people or something and by now. And of course, it is a beautiful country. I want to go there at some point and visit, because I haven't really like traveled the world because I never had the means to. I've only been to like 2 or 3 countries in the world, right? To Germany, been in England. I very briefly been in France, but only on the way, only on the way to England. And I've been in Switzerland, right? That's basically all. Like my family didn't really have money, so we didn't travel outside of Germany. And the only time I did went to England was back in school. And the only time I went to Switzerland was when I was like visiting a friend that was living there. Yeah, I would love to like travel, would love to learn more languages, but do let me ask you, how many and which languages do you speak? Do you speak 1, 2, 3, 7? I mean, there are some people out there who just love languages and love to learn languages and speak languages every single day and learn so many languages. So do tell me, how many do you speak? And put like a flag of the language you speak as an emoji to your comment as well. Okay? Okay, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.